Welcome to Round Glass. Thanks for joining me in this meditation on loving difficult people. I'm Sarah Blackburn. If you've ever been around some mindfulness communities, perhaps in centers or on websites and apps, you may have come in contact with this idea of loving difficult people. And if you're anything like me, when I first heard this concept, the first thing that came to mind was this idea of why? Like, why would I want to do that? And what we'll do in this session is look at some of the reasons why it would be beneficial to practice that. And you'll even get a chance to try it out on your own and see if it's something that could be of benefit to you. But before we dive in, as usual, I would love to hear from you. If you can add into the chat and share if you think loving difficult people is even worth it, and if so or if not, why or why not. And then while you're doing that, I'll quickly share with you the roadmap for this session. So this is the last session of 4 previous sessions where we've been looking at one particular meditation. And it is a visualization practice. And the way it works is that we'll start by remembering a moment where we felt deep love and connection. And then we'll visualize that love taking on a physical form. And then the first part, which we did in the first session, is filling ourselves up, completing who we are with that love. Then we will extend it to those who are easy to love, our friends and our family. Then we'll share it with those who might be anonymous that we don't know. And then in this session, we'll move on to stretching that love to those who have challenged us. But before we dive in, I want to hear from you as to whether or not you think loving difficult people is even worth it. And I want to thank everyone for sharing in the chat. I see some of you say sometimes it pays off. When you love difficult people, they can become less difficult if they receive the love. That's amazing. And then we've got some others who say it's been a real waste of time for them. Thank you for your honesty. I totally understand. And we've got someone else who says, loving difficult people is so hard, but everyone deserves love. That's amazing. It's so helpful to hear how you're thinking, and I'm so grateful that you're sharing in the chat. It's really, really helpful for everyone to hear different perspectives. And so let's do it. Let's figure out why this would be of benefit and how we can do it so that it works for us and has a positive impact on our minds and on our world. So I'd like to start by defining our terms. When I studied these ideas, the definition I was given for love is that it's the wish for another person to be happy. That's it, simply put. And that the definition of compassion is the wish for another not to suffer. And it's important that we have those definitions clear, especially in this type of meditation, because it can often be misinterpreted. So I want to be clear that this practice is not that you would allow someone to harm you or harm someone else. That's not what we're saying, that in the act of love, we'll just let negativity continue. That is not the practice. But what this meditation is about, it has everything to do with your own state of mind that you hold as you engage with those difficult people. Because our natural tendency is that when someone is difficult or they challenge us and maybe even harm us, the normal state of mind is to want to harm them back, or to want that they also are challenged and struggle. And this meditation is to counter that tendency, because we play a really big part in our experience of the world and our interpretation of others and of the world we live in has so much to do with the mind, that very thing that is doing the interpreting and that has the experience of those other people and the world. And so this practice is about seeding our mind with the type of experience that we want to have with that mind. So if we seed our mind with love and kindness, that will be the lens through which we are more likely to experience others and the world. And the opposite is true. If we seed our mind with anger and frustration, then we're more likely to have that as an experience, because that's what we've filled our mind with. And so the last thing I'll share is that the practice of loving difficult people is about your own mind and your own experience. It has very little to do with the other person, about whether they deserve it or they appreciate it. And it has everything to do with your own experience of yourself and your world and your reality. So I hope that helps clarify as to why we would do it. And with that, let's begin the practice. So find a comfortable position you can sit in for the next 12 to 15 minutes. Oftentimes that means having your hips higher than your knees and a nice alert spine. And when you're ready, you can let your eyes fall closed if that's comfortable, or eyes opened is also an option. And then check your body to be sure there's no lingering tension. So releasing any gripping or clenching that might have collected. Often it's in the knees or the hips or the low back or upper back. So think of lengthening your spine, relaxing your shoulders, and softening through the face. So the forehead and eyelids can relax. Soften your jaw. And then begin to follow your breath, noticing how it feels as you inhale and exhale. And then think back at some moment in your life when you felt a primordial response of love. When was a moment when you purely wished for another person or perhaps an animal that they were just happy? Maybe it was a moment when you laughed with a friend or saw a smile on a child's face. Maybe it could even be with one of your pets or animals. Whatever comes to mind first is just perfect. And as you remember that moment of love, see if you can get a sense of a sensation at the level of your heart in your body. And then visualize that feeling of love as a light that's a crystalline bluish color. See that spark of love transform into this physical manifestation of pure love, the wish for another's happiness. And this blue glow of love begins to fill up your entire body. This love makes contact with your organs, your bones, your blood. And the moment it touches it, it transforms that physical part of you into that pure love. And this blue light also permeates your mind and makes contact with all the previous instances of you in the past, all those younger versions of you that were hungry for love. The moment those memories make contact with this blue light, that past version of you feels and experiences this pure love. And this blue light also travels to the future moments of you, and at some version of you yet to come. When it makes contact with this blue light, it's also enveloped in love. It's safe, happy, and at peace. And as this love expands to every aspect of you, your physical form, your past, your present, and your future, you are now the embodiment of the purest wish that every mind and body be happy. And this love continues to grow in strength. Now made more powerful by every aspect of you. And the blue light begins to expand in every direction, seeping from your skin and traveling out to those who are closest to you in your life. This love extends to your friends and family, your partners, loved ones, past, present, and future. And again, as this love makes contact with all of those people who are closest to you and have such an impact on your life, the love sparks their own wish for happiness inside of your loved ones, and the light begins to grow inside of them also. So begin to see your loved ones being filled with this blue glow that represents the purest love. And they too are safe, happy. They are healthy and live with a state of peace. And this blue light continues to grow inside of them, expand out to their circle. And it stays connected to you as well. Only with every heart that it transforms, it grows in strength. And you see this blue glow begin to extend out to the people that you don't know. This wish that others be happy begins to make contact with the anonymous people, the faces that you see in your everyday life, but maybe don't know so personally. So begin to visualize this spark of love igniting in the hearts of the baristas at your cafe, the nameless faces you pass in your commute or in your building, in your neighborhood. Imagine this love making contact with the countless strangers you have encountered in your life and will encounter in your future. And then this love continues to grow even stronger and more potent. With every heart that it touches, it becomes more pure as the wish that others be happy and not suffer. And this love is also filled with protection and wisdom. And it becomes so strong that it makes contact with those people who have been particularly difficult in your life. And as it gets closer to those challenging people, remember that it's purely the wish that they not suffer and that they are happy. And you see it start to make contact with their body and their heart. It sparks something inside them. It transforms their negativity and by the power of its purity brings out that love within them. They too experience that wish for others to be happy. And then take one more look out into this network of minds, of people and beings, all of whom have been transformed by this blue glow of love. And see this light begin to retreat. It leaves the bodies and minds that it was in contact with. However, the residue of its goodness remains within them. while the light itself begins to return back in the direction towards you. It returns to the space around you. It's brighter, more powerful, and more pure than it even began with. And it comes back to the level of your heart. And makes a seat inside you, available to you at any moment. You can always call upon this pure wish that others be happy whenever you need to. Now, notice your body breathing. Become aware of the sounds around you, the temperature of the air as it makes contact with your skin. And when you're ready, you can slowly come out of the meditation. Move your body and open your eyes. So now that we've practiced this unconditional love towards all beings, I hope that you're able to try it out on your own and use it if it's of benefit to you. So I invite you, we still have a few minutes here, to add in the chat any questions or comments that may have come up for you during that meditation or around this topic. And I wanted to talk a little bit about what you can keep in mind as you perhaps try out this practice. And the first thing is that if it doesn't always feel easy or natural to love those who are difficult, be kind with yourself and work with it in the days and in the moments when you feel really strong and good about it. That's an awesome time to practice. And if it feels like too much of a stretch or that you could potentially hurt yourself or others, then it's okay to practice something else. And as always, it takes time. So it comes with consistency and practice. And then another thing you can try is maybe not to work with the most difficult person. The people who trigger us most might not be the first person to try this out with, but maybe someone who you find mildly irritating or that doesn't bring up as much emotion. That's a great place to start. And I see we have another question, which is, why is the light blue? To be honest with you, I don't have a certain answer. That's the way it was taught to me, so I'm sharing that with you. And if it feels safer or more comfortable, you're welcome to change the color of it. I think blue is nice so that we don't get too lost in identifying with the specific color. It's more just a way to have something tangible for our minds. Yeah? Okay, that's all we have time for in this session. but I invite you to check out my profile. There you'll be able to see the previous sessions, and also you'll find when I'll be going live again. And thank you for your time. It's been a pleasure meditating with you, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye now.